Hello and welcome to Xenoserb's DB7 RDP tutorial. For the tutorial, we'll be bombing facility number 4 in Dusseldorf. The first thing you'll need is a DB7. So grab a DB7, taxi to the far side of the runway, do a 180, and shut your engines off. Lining up at the end of the runway does 3 things for you. 1, if you're going as a group, it allows everybody to line up and get in formation. 2, it gives you a little extra runway. Bombers are heavy, takes a little more runway to get them off the ground. And 3, it gives you the opportunity to adjust your settings so you don't have to do it in the air, which is what we're going to do right now. The first thing we're going to do is adjust the bomb site alignment. So go to position 2, and here you will see the forward and back alignment. By default, this is set perfectly, so do not move your joystick forward or back while you're in position 2. Here is the left and right alignment, which by default when you spawn in is usually a little bit to the left. So we will bump the joystick just a hair to the right and try to center that up. Now we can check this gauge from position 1 on your control panel, and as you can see, it's lined up now. The thing to remember is once you get your bomb site alignment adjusted properly, do not move your joystick in position 2 or you will change these settings. The next thing we need to do is to find the bomb site altitude. For that, you'll need to get the town altitude. If your squad doesn't have a list of those, you can get them through Google. And you'll need the bombing altitude. For this sortie, we'll be bombing at 5,800 meters. The town altitude for Dusseldorf is 38 meters. The formula is the bombing altitude minus the town altitude equals the bomb site altitude. So 5,800 meters minus 38 meters equals 5,762 meters. Once you start making the adjustment in the plane, you'll find that it's hard to get it right on. So you can be within plus or minus 5. Our settings will be anywhere between 57.57 and 57.67. From position 2, use your page up and page down keys to adjust your bomb site altitude. Remember, you need to be plus or minus 5 of your bomb site altitude figure. Now, using your home and end key, run your bomb site airspeed indicator to max. The next thing we have to do is to activate a target. I've already set all the waypoints, so open your map, click the eye in the upper left-hand corner. That'll open a box with all the waypoints in it. Select Deuce 4. Now, not only does this show you where Deuce 4 is, but it also activates that particular waypoint, so you can use it with your little green arrow in your minimap. As far as target placement goes, I like to place mine on the middle building right at the end. At this point, press the apostrophe key twice to set your max RPMs, and we are ready for liftoff. From position 1, hold down your X and Z key to apply your brakes. Then use the E key to start your engine. Once your engines are running, hit the F8 key to turn your WEP on and throttle up to max power. Once your engines are at max power, let go of the brakes and get your plane in the air. Once you get your plane off the ground, hit the G key to bring up your gear. Once your gear is all the way up, a red indicator light will come on your instrument panel. After you've gained a little altitude and airspeed, you're going to want to adjust your elevator trim using your K and I keys to get your AOA set at 1.0. This will give us a nice even climb and won't kill our airspeed. You can set this higher if you need to gain altitude faster. Now that your AOA is set, go ahead and deploy the guns in position 3 and position 4 using the O key. Once you've reached your bombing altitude of 5,800 meters, you're going to want to level off. So start adjusting your elevator trim down using your I and K keys until your variometer reads 0. Then engage your autopilot using the A key. Continue to adjust your elevator trim down in small increments. Every time you make an adjustment, turn your autopilot off and on rapidly. and you'll start to see your AOA drop. Now this is a slow process. If you do this too quickly, you'll have trouble getting your autopilot re-engaged. You'll continue to do this until you can turn your autopilot on and off and your AOA stays right around 0. Now that your plane is roughly trimmed out, it's time to get locked on target. So open your map, make sure that Deuce 4 is still selected, and zoom in all the way. Your lineup point is going to be just to the right of the black line, but not on it. To get on target, turn off your autopilot and slightly turn your plane, then turn your autopilot back on. When the autopilot is turned back on, your plane should snap upright. If your autopilot doesn't engage, you're turning too sharp. You want to do this in small increments. While your autopilot is turned off, also keep an eye on your variometer and make sure that it stays at 0. We don't want our altitude to change. Then just repeat this process until you're locked on target. Then click your autopilot off and on until your AOA and your slip both read 0. Adjust your elevator trim if you need to. At about 35K, press your F8 key to turn your WEP off and your semicolon key to go to continuous RPMs. Then open your bomb doors using the D key. Once your doors are open, a red light will appear on your instrument panel in position 2. At about 25 or 30K, you're going to want to do your final check. The first thing to do is to make sure that you are on target. You don't want to adjust your course after this point because as you get closer to the target, it starts to skew and you'll miss. If you've made a course correction, turn your autopilot off and on to get your AOA and slip back to 0. Double check your altitude, make sure you're at 5,800 meters. Then go to position 2 and check your bomb sight speed and altitude, being careful not to move your joystick in position 2. Now that our plane is trimmed out and locked on, go to position 2, check to make sure your doors are open, and then go to your bomb sight view. The first thing you'll be able to recognize when you approach the factory are the big white fuel tanks. You can see those from a distance. Now there's 2 factories at this end of Deuce, and the one that we want is on the far side. When the top of the diamond of your reticle reaches the first building, unload all your bombs as fast as you can. You can check to see where your bombs land by going to position 4 and eyeballing your target from the gun sight view. As you can see, we're right on target. The only thing left to do is to get your butt back to the hangar and RTB. That's pretty much it for the tutorial. I hope you found it helpful, and thanks for watching. I'm XenoSerb. Expect me when you see me.